Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video, I'm going to talk about the global variable. So can I, in the Solidworks, define one dimension and make all the dimensions in this part are related to this dimension? So this is the importance of global variable. Okay, so like for example, I want to make this length as 10 millimeter, 100 millimeters. Okay, and I want to make this dimension always 10% of that length. I want to make this dimension double of this length. I want to make this thickness 15% of this length. So you just add one length and the program is going to calculate all the next lengths. And this is the idea of the global variable. Let's do that again. Let's do this part again and see how to do this global variable. So part, okay, go to front plane, normal to sketch, activate sketch, and make this L quickly. Left, then go back to the origin point. Smart dimension, this is L. This is the, let's say that this is my global variable. This is the length, the basic or the main length here. So how can I make it the main length or the global variable? Simply click on equal, then just give this length a symbol. Okay, suppose that I want to give it the name of L capital. Okay, then check. He asks you, do you want to make a global variable named L capital? Say yes. Now as you can see that he added a sigma sign, which means that this is the main length of this part, or this is the global variable of this part. You can change it, okay, and everything in this drawing is going to be changed related to this global variable. Now go back again to this, double click, let's make it 100. So the length of this global variable is 100. Now related to this dimension, I want to make this dimension always 15% of L. So how can we do that? Equal, then go to global variable, and this is the L that we have defined, L multiply by 15%, which is 0.15. So I want always the program to make this length always 15% of L. Okay. Okay, let's go here, make the dimension. Okay, this dimension also I want it to be always the same number or the same length of L. So the same L here. So equal global variable L. Okay, you can make it, for example, double L, triple L, multiply by 3, multiply by 2. But in this example, I want it to be the same L, the same global variable. Okay. Okay, let's make this dimension, and I want it always to be 10% of L, always. So equal to global variable multiply by 0.10, 10% always of L. Okay, so as you can see that we have only defined one L, and all the dimensions he's going to calculate it related to this L. Suppose that I want to make this L, or the global variable here, 200. So he's going always to make 15% of this 200 the same L. He'll make 10% of this 200, and etc. Okay, let's go check feature extrude, and I would like to make this extrude mid plane. Also, you can make the extrude related to this L. So equal, okay, I want it to be the same length of L. Okay, or you can say that I want it to be 80% of L. So multiply by 0.80. Okay, so he made extrude, okay, 80% of L, which is 80. So check. Okay, now I want to make the rib. So go to the front, because the front is in the middle. You can make the rib now. Normal to sketch, activate sketch. Let's draw this line from this edge I will not make it to this edge. I will make it before this edge. Suppose it's here. Okay, to make it fully defined, let's make the dimension between this point to this edge, and I want it always to make this dimension 20% of L. 20% of L. So equal to global variable L multiplied by 0.20. So always I want to make this dimension related to L with 20%. So check. Now go to the feature, then make the rib, and I want to make the thickness always 10% of L. So equal to global variable multiply by 0.10. Always I wanted to make this extrude, or to make this thickness 10% of L. Okay, then check. Okay, now all our part is related to this length. So if we change this L, everything is going to change to different numbers. Okay, now after that we have to go to tools, equations. You can see that you can change this L, you can make it 200. Obviously the part will be bigger, and everything is calculated related to this L, which is 200 now. If we can make it 300, the length will be 300, for example. The part is going to be bigger, and all the parts, okay, all the dimensions is going to be calculated. As you can see, this is 20% of 300. So you have just to add this L every time, and the program is going to change all the numbers related to this L, related to this global variables. Okay, let's make this again. So equation, let's make it 100 again. Okay, and then go to tools again, evaluate, mass properties, which has this balance icon. Click here. Now see that the mass here is 217 grams. Okay, using the same material. The mass is always related to the material. So the default material here in this program, okay, related to that, the mass will be 217 grams. The volume in cubic millimeters is 217,750 cubic millimeters. Now the mass will be 217. What happens if we make this L 200? So this is if L 100. Let's make it 200. Tools, equation. Let's make it 200. Okay. And see again what happens to the mass properties. You see, it was 270 grams. Now it's 1,742 grams as a mass, and as a volume, the volume is bigger than before. Let's make it to 300. Okay, then go again to the tools, evaluate, mass properties. You see 5,880 grams, and the volume is bigger than the number before. So as a practice, to practice that, do the same part and change the L, one as 100, then 200, then 300, and write down the mass and the volume, okay, for each of these global variables, okay, to practice this global variable. Finally, we can add more than one global variable. Suppose that I want to make this global variable named A and this length named B, and this dimension is 15% of A, and I want to make this dimension 15% of this length B. So you can add two global variables, one called A and one called B. You can add three global variables, and suppose that this thickness is related to B, this length is related to A. So you can add the number that you want as global variables, and you can see it here in the equations. We have only one global variable, but if you have two or three, you can see here L1, for example, L2, or A or B, C, whatever. So you can add more than one global variable. I hope that you go back and do this exercise again with the length 100, length 200, length 300, 400, and 500, and write down the mass number and the volume for each L's, okay, as a practice. And I hope it's easy to you now. If you have any question, just type it down in this video, and thank you very much.